John dismounted and helped Lizzie onto the mare. After Lizzie moved off, he whispered to Roy on the wagon seat. Beyond them, the two buffalo were closer, but still indistinguishable as bovines, their legs hidden by the grass. They appeared as great humps like brown rugs maneuvering around each other, dust rising sporadically into the air. Abigail gaped at the surreal image, immense livestock belonging to a Brobdingnag in Gulliver's Travels in a giant-sized meadow. Mounted on Percy, Lizzie stayed near the wagon bed where Richie's head bobbed, the lad clearly wanting to see the show. Will Kerr, now on the wagon seat, had taken the reins of the horses, the Kerr's fowling piece gleaming in his lap. John stood at his side, speaking, his voice a quiet murmur. Another bellow met her ears, more like a shriek, loud and frightening. One of the buffaloes lumbered toward them, then slowed, turned, and snorted. The animals continued to maneuver in the tall grass, getting closer and closer to the wagons. One animal seemed to be driven back, and the other pressed his advantage, charging, stopping short, and charging again. There was a sudden grunt and squeal as one charge connected with the flesh of the other, dust swirling about them. The loser launched into a dead run toward the wagons. John knelt and lifted his Deckard rifle. Roy moved to the right, keeping low to the ground, musket raised. The shaggy brown monster came into view, legs churning at an incredible rate for so massive a creature. When was John going to fire? Crack! To her left, the rifle jerked back against John's shoulder. The creature continued its charge, hooves pummeling the ground. Had he missed? Bang! Wisps of smoke rose from Roy's musket. Both men were frantically reloading as the buffalo drew near. It hesitated, snuffing and pawing, its great head low to the ground, horns small by comparison. It bellowed, its black eyes searching for a target. Stormy snorted and pawed the ground, and by his side the black mare, ears flat to her head, backed up against the whiffle-tree, causing the wagon to jolt and shudder. Lizzie, on Percy, had disappeared, and Rosemary trembled beneath her. The heifer bawled, a loud keening sound, and jerked at her rope. Rosemary bolted. Aster and Stormy snorted and twitched in fear, but John had no attention to spare for the horses. He'd just stay out of their way if they bolted. He shoved the rod down the barrel of his rifle. The ball was seated, now the powder. Kneeling, John primed his weapon, his fingers sure, knowing their task. No point in running. Buffalo ran as fast as any horse on the racetracks of Williamsburg, but horses respected height and avoided an upright man despite the great disparity in weight. Maybe the crazed bull would slow down if he stood up. He took a steadying breath and rose to his feet. He aimed the Deckard rifle and paused. If only he had a better angle. Straight on, the animal presented a poor target, hard skull and massive shoulder blades blocking the path of any bullet. The buffalo hesitated, as if choosing which of them to run down. 20 feet to his right, Roy still fumbled with his powder horn. Even if they got off 2 more shots, it wouldn't matter. The shaggy brute was so close John could smell the musky stench of its rut. One of them would be trampled.